They harassed me less because they harassed me with so much racism, guilt, and shame, and I would believe it when I didn't know that it was the government, like whoever was doing this to me. It just felt like very like I deserved what was happening, and I learned from the websites that other people are getting harassed just like me, and so I could kind of know the truth from what's not real a little bit more, and it's just really embarrassing and humiliating, and I hate being in this position, but I have to stick it out. Hopefully I'll be free soon, but thank you for listening. Bye.
I'm a victim of electronic harassment. I live in Washington, D.C. I'm being physically stung or stabbed or pounded, and it hurts. I am tormented and physically abused every day. My abusers are trying to force me to commit suicide. My abusers are trying to make me retaliate in order to discredit me. I am a victim of defamation of character. I have been driven out of my place of employment. I am being stalked and harassed in an organized fashion. I have appealed to the authorities and no one will help me.
It all started back in May of 2000, back in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was told by an officer this is being done by members of the Drug Enforcement Bureau, who's right here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I can definitely point the ones out who actually done this to me. These people can follow me in any building, in any house, in any hospital. They get my medical report. They got my social security number. They got every piece of information that you can think. I'm just trying to let the people know that this is happening here in America. This is happening in Phoenix, Arizona. Please be careful. Please be careful. These people will hurt you. Do not trust them, no matter what. They can listen to anything you know. No matter what you try to do, these people are out to hurt you and destroy you. The symptoms are I'm having pain in my inside structure. I'm having my foot being burned. My needles are being stuck in my eye. They blacked my eye. They struck me down in the middle of the street, and a car ran over me. My pelvis bone is broken into 5 places. I have 3 7-inch long metal plates and 15 screws on my left side. I have a scar from my belly up to my chest. These people do not care about life. They're out to destroy life. They target you for any reason. I am a certified AC duct installer by trade for over 20 years. I've been trying to go to work for the last 2.5 years, and every time I get a job, they keep me from working.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Hansen, and I've been a targeted individual for more than 5 years now. I've been under surveillance using all manner of high-technology devices, including through-the-wall radar. People have broken into my house repeatedly, once while I was inside. They have placed various substances in my coffee and soft drinks and performed all manner of hoaxes and tricks in an attempt to freak me out and have me make outlandish reports to the police and have me diagnosed as mentally ill. I have experienced various types of gang stalking where the perpetrators, organized with cell phones, are always in visual contact with me at all times of the day and night. This is done conspicuously when I am alone and more subtly when others are with me, thus making it appear to them as if I am imagining it. Another persistent technique they have used is to cough, spit, or bring their hand to their face in my presence in an effort to sensitize me to these behaviors and have me diagnosed as mentally ill. Stating to a mental health worker that people you don't know are making gestures to you is a diagnostic criterion for schizophrenia. My first-class mail has disappeared on multiple occasions from the U.S. Post Office, including my tax forms and a request for an administrative hearing. I've been targeted with electromagnetic energy on at least 2 occasions where it could be definitively identified. once in front of a Ralph's grocery store, and once in my driveway, where I measured the power at over 100% of the FCC allowed limit for RF exposure using a NARDA 8718 radiation hazard meter. I have on multiple occasions been targeted with low frequency, less than 10 Hz, subsonic sound, which causes a feeling of illness and nausea. This is another of many non-lethal weapons that have been developed and are being used surreptitiously and illegally on unknowing targets. I have experienced all manner of malicious mischief and sabotage. My security video recorder has been disabled on multiple occasions by these devices. In non-consensual experiments, they have caused many types of apparent diseases. They cause the sensation of electric shocks, muscle contractions, visual and auditory hallucinations, and anxiety attacks with an increase in heart rate, among other effects. These are used in an attempt to control my behavior by shocking me, much like one would attempt to force a mouse through a maze by delivering electric shocks. On many occasions, the perpetrators have shocked me for no apparent reason, evidently just to show who is boss and that they can get away with it. I believe these technologies have been developed in secret by the military and are being used on unwitting subjects without their consent. Although the perpetrators use the American flag as a symbol, this is entirely a propaganda technique, as these activities are the antithesis of what the country and Constitution stand for. This is simply a continuation of a long history of non-consensual experimentation on citizens by various government agencies, such as the Project MKUltra, and is just one of a large number of secret projects being performed by the military. I have written many letters to authorities and received absolutely no response. This is probably because many mentally ill people make very similar claims, and the perpetrators know this and exploit it to avoid investigation. Also, I think it is difficult for most people to believe that the government would so blatantly violate people's civil rights, even though there's a long history of doing so. It's also clear on the basis of their participation in gang-stalking activities that some law enforcement people and neighbors are cooperating, if not overtly colluding, in these perpetrations, making it impossible to enlist their assistance. Thanks for your time and attention.
My name is Juanita Purdy, and I live in Pensacola, Florida. I am a victim of electronic harassment. I am being physically stunned, stabbed, and burned. They are trying to make me retaliate in order to discredit me. I am a victim of defamation of character. I am being stalked and harassed in an organized manner. I have appealed to the authorities and no one will help me.
I was warned twice not to talk. I was told that I would be killed, and the Phoenix program, because George was involved with a very important part of that, not important really, but he and Al Gray and Louis Buell and Michael O'Boyle and Ollie Whipple, it's run by the mob. Then it was a mob military partnership, joint. It was a joint operation in Korea and in Vietnam. The highest levels of the Marine Corps and the Army in those special operations levels, the individuals are actually in the mob. New Jersey.
You're talking about the mafia type mob?
I'm talking about the Brooklyn, New Jersey mob. My husband, Al Gray, Sheehan, they're all Brooklyn. Cap Weinberger. Heinz Kissinger, there's the Boston mob, which was shipping weapons back and forth to Northern Ireland. And I don't want to get too deeply involved in that. You know, they go into this drug and secondary weapons sales. Vietnam was really important because a lot of experiments were done on boys who went over there. I had, since my husband disappeared and since they have been psychologically trying to destroy me, financially trying to destroy me, because I'm telling the truth. But I was being handled psychologically. On the 4th of March, my home was broken into. They had elaborate plans to handle me, and each time I was totally traumatized. They took my tape. They started coming in and putting sticky stuff and running my, just mind-jagging me.
Putting sticky stuff
On the tapes, and they would put the tapes on different, they would go to a lot of trouble. They would take things that I said on one tape and put it on another, and they were having fun with me psychologically. So my husband is a friend of Scrowcroft, McFarland's a Marine. All of these men are personal friends of George's. Colby, I spoke with personally on the phone. 2 weeks later, he was murdered. He went to Princeton. My husband knew him. He knew my husband. He told me, Colby told me that...
Now, this is General Colby?
No, this is William Colby, who was head of the CIA.
Oh, okay, yes.
Who was murdered in a...
so-called boating accident.
I know exactly how that happened because, you see, the SEAL teams 6, 4, 6, and 8 on the East Coast, and then the odd numbers on the West Coast. The Israelis train with the SEALs. They do a lot of wet ops, murders, over here.